is your girl Vanna. You are now tuning in to the Hood Talks podcast, where community voice matters. You are going to love this week's show. Before we kick this show off, I have to give a shout out to the sponsor of this very episode. Shout out to ABC Educational Consulting, LLC. Man, a company focusing on the entire family unit, starting from the womb. As an educational consultant, they prepare curriculums for businesses, organizations, and school districts matched to the student or the adult learner that is being served. Also, as a certified life coach, they are helping people ace their life by their own standards. And this right here, oh yeah, shout out to my doulas. Sis is a certified full spectrum doula. They are supporting mothers and coaching families during the process of birth. When I say she has it all, she has it all. Again, curriculum development, professional development, one-on-one coaching, coaching with a twist events, shout out to that one, doula services, and oh yeah, a goal getter box. A great item that you can tap into online, including different items like t-shirts, candles, journals, pens, and a 45-minute session with Coach Ace herself. So let me tell y'all, go ahead and make sure you tap in. Email ABC Educational Consulting LLC at gmail.com or visit the website today at www.acingmylife.com. Hey, what is up? The Hood Talks podcast. This is your girl Vanna, and I got another segment of the Hood Needs for you. Oh my God, I'm so excited for you all to learn about this new resource that I've learned about. And I'm excited to talk to this great guest that I have. So come on, please tell the people who you are.
Girl, you just pumped up. I feel excited and ready to go now, boy. My name
is... You should be excited.
I'm just like, that was the introduction. So my name is Keisha Williams. I am the owner of Empowering You to Move. I am a mother, a grandmother, author, inspirational, transformational speaker. I am a servant. I have so many different titles and hats, but most of all, I just like to say I'm just plain old Keisha. When I introduce myself, I just be like, I'm Keisha. You ain't got to know all that other stuff, but I'm just Keisha all the time.
And I love that plain old Keisha, because I love people who really feel like, because I say that all the time too, like I'm just a regular smuggler person, but I feel like we are the ones making great impacts in our community. And let me first say too that your name of the organization is super dope. I love that name. Ooh. Empowering You to Move. I love that. So shout out to you for that dope name. I guess you kind of talked about you and who you are. Let's get into what is Empowering You to Move. What is this organization?
Oh man, it's so many things, because we want to be like a one-stop shop for our community. So what we like to say is that we are a family strengthening families, right? So all the strength that we've learned from generation to generation, we want to pour all of that knowledge, that love, that compassion, that empathy out on our community at large. So we deal with the unhoused and those that are at risk of being unhoused. And we give them essential resources so that they could be self-sustainable adults, right? So that could look like, job readiness training. That can look like parenting skills, life skills, computer literacy. It can be simply something as small as giving them some paper towels and, household needs, clothing, getting your kids' hair done or your hair done for an interview. Every resource that you need, we try to house it within empowering you to move. What we want to do is take our strength and give it to you. And we do that just by, explaining to people, hey, we can learn, we're going to grow, we're going to cry, we're going to even experience some setbacks. But at the end of the day, we're going to be better than we were before.
So. Better than we were before, that part. And must I say, I love how you said you wanted to be a one-stop shop. I think a lot of times, organizations, they're like, oh, they focus in on one thing. And sometimes that's great because that might be their strength. But sometimes it's like you do need some people need all around support. So if you only helping with food, what about all of the other things that come along with that? Maybe the bills, or maybe, the child care, or maybe the mental health part, you feeding somebody ain't gonna help their mental necessarily.
Right.
So like that is really dope that you are like a one-stop shop. I guess in all that you guys do, what is one of the things that you're like really proud of about your organization?
Oh man, you know what? All of it is kind of like my baby. So it's kind of like, I don't really know like what I'm really, really proud of. I will say that our community engagement, we've done back to school events, we've done Christmas, we've adopted families for Christmas. Mm-hmm. I think that I'm more proud of those things than anything. Because it allows us to help the whole family and not just, the children or just the parents. So with those things, we're helping both. We're helping the parents where they don't have to figure out where they're going to get whatever supplies is needed. And then we're also helping the children because they don't have to sit in the classroom and be like, well, I don't have that, and have, a different kind of persona about themselves because of what they lack. So within our back to school events, we also give away clothing, we give away shoes, we give away coats, we feed them, we also offer, whatever resources that they need when they come and they sign up with us, because we want to make sure that we are in the community, but also giving the community exactly what they are in need of and not us just assuming what they need. So that right there would be one of the things that I'm most proud of.
Let's go back a little bit. So let's say I had a family and they were like, sounds like maybe I can use this. What would the process look like for them to be enrolled in your programs?
So what they would do, they would come into our office, which is at 1407 or 1421 North Taylor. We'll take an intake form. Within that intake form, it'll ask you specific questions. And within those questions, we find out, exactly what you are in need of. Some people might just need a temporary kind of fix. Maybe it's like they just ran out for the end of the month or whatever the case may be. I had a young man who had a job, but he needed repairs done on his vehicle that he couldn't afford. So I made a way for him to go ahead and get that done so that he can continue to maintain that job. So those are the kind of things that we do.
So it's like basically really meeting the clients where they are and really being able to provide them for what they need.
Yes. So we don't come with this preconceived notion that this particular family, because they live in this area, all they're going to need is that. That's not necessarily true. We have some families within this area who are doing well, but they're making sure their bills are paid, but maybe they can't feed everybody, or maybe they can't, get all of their kids the adequate amount of shoes or clothing or whatever the case may be. We can't assume that because they make a certain amount of money that they're okay, because that's never the case. There's always a need somewhere where someone can help. So that's why our intake process is so important. And after you do the intake, then we assign you a case manager. That case manager walks out life with you. So you'll have their number, you'll be able to access them. You guys can have personal conversations that is just between you and that case manager. We also have a behavior modification approach. Our thing is we can give you all the tools you need, all of the resources that you need. But if we don't change the mindset that got you to where you are, then you're going to end up being right back there. So we not only, do that for the parents, we also do that for the children so that they can get on the right track and stay on the right track.
Sustainable. Being
Very
sustainable. Yeah, making sure that the efforts that you guys put forward are sustainable with that family. And I think that's important because it sometimes is about changing the mindset. So kudos to you all. So I guess one other thing I would like to kind of get into about the services that you provide. So say for instance, I know you said you're in the city area. Mm-hmm. What if someone is maybe in St. Charles, they're maybe in the county, can they also tap into getting services?
We are no respecter of location. We're not a respecter of persons. We're not a respecter of location. Help is help. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter who you are. What we ask is that, again, that intake. Let us intake you so that we can make sure that we are fulfilling your needs, not just what you might want or how you feel like your life should be, but your actual needs on how you ended up where you are, and then how we can take you to the next step. So if you're in St. Charles and that's where you live and you're not unhoused, you actually live there, we can hook you up with resources in that area so that you don't have to travel this far. Let it be jobs, whatever it is that you need, we're able to sit down, figure that out, and then provide those resources out where you actually are. Mm. We're not selfish. It's about meeting the need and getting the resources to those individuals who actually are in need of them.
So the housing part, I think, is really important, especially now that we're, in this pandemic and things with government and people getting evicted and evictions and you see my eyes, I'm sorry. But I just feel like right now it's so crazy around rental space and being renters and, a lot of what these our community has to deal with right now, unfortunately. So it's a great time, I think, for you to be here and talking about your organization. And in that space, I would love for you to talk about what's your goal and the mission of your organization with all the stuff that you're providing. What is your goal and what is your mission?
So our goal is to help our community become more sustainable. We have all of these outside resources, but there are also a lot of resources within our community in which we need to tap into so we can grow together, we can invent together, we can engage together. Unity is the key. We are on an island and we're thinking that people are going to come to our island to help and do that. That's not the case. We have to learn to step outside of ourselves so that we can, first of all, get the help that is necessary to our sustainability. And second of all, so we can help others. So it's like if I teach you how to do something and it works really well for you, the best thing you can do is teach the next person who's going to come alongside you, because that's why you were taught that particular thing. So just being able to do that and bridge that generational gap. I remember growing up, like we had the mothers on the street, we were a village of people. Not to say that I'm that old, I only just turned 44, but it still was a village.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, only my four and no more.
Yeah, like you really don't know who you living next to.
Right.
And I'm 32 and I saw my grandma in my grandma's house. Like I really saw the dynamics of community, neighborhood. Everybody knew everybody, even if it was over on a couple of blocks, or everybody knew. She knew all of the families on the in the area, and they knew the deans, and if you did something, it got back to grandma.
We don't let that grapevine come back through that house, and they be like, yeah,
it got back. So everybody knew everybody.
Like that.
Yeah, we don't have that type of community, or like you said, village anymore. Like, hey, that ain't my business, or I'm over here in my lane, I'm doing so much, or doing like, I ain't got time for you or yours. So it does, like, even the kids aren't playing together anymore.
No.
They don't even play together on the streets or the blocks. So shout out to you again when you like, the key is unity. I agree. It's going to take all of us to come together, work together to make sure that we're helping our communities thrive. So that is definitely important. I like how you brought that out. And then I like how you're saying that you're okay, or your organization is willing to partner or, refer out. And it's not like I said, you're not selfish. It's not, if we can't help, or if it's more convenient for you to go somewhere else, let me put you where you need to be and let you help get the help there. So that's another good gem. Shout out to you all. I guess, so you talked a lot about how you guys are like, supporting community and the things that you're offering. How can the community really support you?
Oh my
your
gosh.
Organization.
See, that. So we've been in existence. I've been doing this all of my life, right? But I just now become a non-for-profit maybe in the last 2 years. Okay. So everything that I've done has been out of pocket. So that gets a little, hard, because I want to effectively impact my community. Right. So like we can take donations. We do donations for men and women, gently used, clean clothing. We'll even come pick it up if we have to. If you can't drop it off, we'll come pick it up. We have several fundraisers where you can always donate. We have a fundraiser coming up called WWJD. Most people, when they hear that, they think of what would Jesus do? Okay, think of that too. But ours stands for warm wear, just donate. It can be it can be coats, socks, clothes, whatever. I mean, because our unhoused are in need to be warm. Yeah. And we all live in St. Louis, and we know that. I mean, it get cold outside.
So I can't even imagine.
Oh man! Every time I see them, I just want to take them all home. But unfortunately, I can't do that. Right. So what I want to do is present a platform where I can help them in whatever areas I can. I'm looking to connect with some people that can do emergency shelters, even if it's over the weekends. One thing I learned is with dealing with 211 is they don't have case managers over the weekend. So if I have someone that is in need of a shelter, they don't have anywhere to go until Monday morning. Well, if it's Friday at 6 p.m., then, that kind of, what am I going to do with them till then? Right. So we just being able to network and connect with individuals or organizations who are willing to help us out in that area would be awesome. Again, you can always donate cash. We can distribute that how we see fit. But being volunteers, always good. If you have some free time.
You're not the only one that says that. So St. Louis STL, let's get out here and volunteer in some of these nonprofit organizations, because I have quite a few on the show, and they've all said that same thing. So they need you all to show up.
Yes, we need each other to grow. I can't do this by myself. I need volunteers. The other organizations, they need volunteers. Whenever I see someone out on Facebook and they be like, oh, we need volunteers, I'll be like, well, what you need me to do? That's why I say I'm a servant, because regardless of whatever title, whatever I'm doing, servitude is top priority. How can I serve you today? And if we all collectively get that mindset, baby, we're going to really put St. Louis on the map.
You heard, yes, say that again. If we can get that mindset of how can I serve, assist, or help another, yeah, we win.
And don't want anything in return.
And don't that part.
That's that thing right there. You gotta not want that something part in return, because what you'll get on the back end will be so much greater than what that person could ever give you.
That part. So. Dropping, look at you, Keisha, dropping gems on the Hood Talks podcast. I love it because yes, my people. I think I agree with you so much on that part. Is that once you just start feeling like, how can I make an impact, and start putting in work, doors will just open and open and open. So shout out to you and your organization and the work, because like you said, you just been a nonprofit organization for 2 years now, but you've been doing this work all your life. So you put in the work. And I know that's not easy either, establishing that nonprofit status and all of that.
Oh my God.
Definitely not easy. So kudos for that also. Just being out here and doing the work and showing up for community. Now I guess I really wanted to get into before we leave, expand a little bit more on what you want to see for your organization in the future. I'm gonna give you a little twist, but yeah, what do you want to see in the future for your organization?
So how I want our organization to grow is, by leaps and bounds, but it's going to take community to do that, right? So I want to be able to have my own emergency shelter, where I can take those.
Somebody got some space for a shelter.
Somebody, and here's the thing: where I am, I have space, but we need funding in order to make that happen, right? Mm-hmm. We need bodies to make that happen. The need is there, but the ability to meet the need is not so much there. So I need a grant writer, so I need a researcher. I need someone who will be able to stay here overnight with those individuals to make sure that everyone is safe. We want to start transitional housing by the end of 2022, where they'll be able to come in and learn some financial literacy, stay in a house, like a 1-bedroom studio apartment, and it has a den mother, if you will, inside of that building. And she's teaching you how to live on your own. So after that, what we want you to do is graduate from that program and then move on to living on your own inside of a rented property that we've either connected with or we actually own, where you're paying your rent, where you're doing your own bills while you're still under our care, because we want to track you. This is a lifelong connection. So it's not like we're going to get you a couple of things and then we're going to drop you. No, that's not how it's going to work. We're going to still check in with you. We're still going to love on you. We're still going to show you compassion. We're still going to give you whatever tools you need in order to contain you and maintain that stability that you learned.
I think that's important because one thing I want to highlight is that sometimes, people get services and then they, graduate out or they finish or complete, and the organization just forgets about them and not thinking.
Right. It's like, oh, okay, they done. Let me put them in the back of the file cabinet.
Sometimes you can go back to, struggling, or you can regress, and you still need that help in some way. So and then you have to go back and try to do the program over or something like that instead of picking you up where you are. So because then it becomes
that's one of the things that
becomes a number game at that point. But
exactly. So that's one of the things that's in our mission. Like we understand that there's going to be relapses. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be times in your life where you're just not going to be able to make it. I mean, look at the state of the economy. We ain't making it. So it's like you have to expect people. You got to expect people to have a relapse. So that's why you stay in contact. That's why you make them feel like family and not just a number, not just a client. That's why we're a family strengthening families, because we're going to know you personally. We're going to be able to say, hey, so how you doing? And I don't want the surface stuff. I want to know actually how you're doing. So that we can build a strong foundation and we can learn from each other. Because believe me, it's some stuff that they can teach me that I have not experienced that I want to know.
Yeah.
So building those good foundational relationships is what we are really trying to, that's our key thing, our relationships. Within a relationship, you can build a mighty, mighty mountain. So
yes. And then trust that too. When when someone trusts you, they will open up to where you are able to assist. And I think that's a very valid point too, of like you said, we want to know for real who you are, being your authentic self so that we can truly help you. And not that surface foolishness but I understand why people do it.
I do too, because they're afraid that if I tell you this, then you're going to come and take my kids. Even though we're mandated reporters, we still have lived life. We have a lot of life experience. Yep. So I understand that, hey, look, Tommy was over there tripping, and I understand it.
Or the cultural. You have the cultural too. Let's keep it real and raw. This is the Hood Talks podcast. You got the cultural experience. So
you got to know that.
Yeah, you do. That's important. Representation really does matter. So sometimes you can you understand it, you get it, versus someone else who may not be exposed to that type of situation or behavior. That don't make them bad, but at the same time, that makes you inadequate for this person, unfortunately.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you just, you got to take a step back and be like, okay, I can't, connect in that space. Let's provide somebody that can. So we can help the client, because it's about the client. It's not about self.
It's not about us at all.
Yeah, it's not about us.
We can't. And unfortunately, with other non-for-profits, they make it about themselves. And if that is what it's about, you're in the wrong line of work. I tell people all the time, I'm not trying to get rich doing this. If I want to get rich, I'll go out and get a job with one of these degrees I got and this experience I have. Those things taught me how to maintain, retain, and align what I'm doing right now. This is a passion. This is something I can get up every day and feel accomplished, feel fulfilled, without even making a dime.
Yes.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
So it's
a big difference.
It behooves me. Yeah, it behooves me.
It's a big difference. It is. And again, I love the opportunity to get here and talk to organizations. And this is why I started this, is because I know there are a lot of great organizations that's out here really doing the work and just don't get enough of the spotlight. Or they don't like the resources for your organization to keep thriving or to keep assisting people. It's hard to tap into, because, some of these big non-for-profit organizations that has their hands on everything is taking everything. And don't let me get started on him. But so it's like that part. Okay. They ain't trying to let up. Not in St. Louis. Okay. They ain't trying to let up. But that is a downfall for the community. That's the downfall, because some people are holding on to things, resources, and it ain't just about funding. Like you said, grant writers and people that help, volunteers. Like, some people might look at your organization and look at the other organization and be like, oh, well, they can offer incentives to volunteer at their organization, so I'm gonna go there instead of going to yours. But they taking up all the resources, and then the people that really are out here on the grounds and doing the work are limited to what they get. But you're still in the thick of it. Like, you're still working, you're still doing the work regardless. And that goes to show that you are in it for the right reasons. So again, shout out to you and your organization. Is there anything else you want to let the people know before we kind of, tell them how to reach out to you or how to get in contact?
Yeah, so like we're trying to figure out. So when I was growing up, we had Matthew Dickey's, and Matthew Dickey's was the spot. So you can come and you can, play games. You can just chill with your friends. You can play ball. And you can play ball.
You can play ball. And you can play ball.
Right.
You can play ball.
Wow. What we're trying to do here, slowly but surely, within the next couple of weeks or so, we're going to start doing open gym.
Oh.
Yeah, we have volleyball here for adults on Thursday nights. It starts at 6:30.
Okay.
Right. I'm not a volleyball person, but I
used
seen
to
them in there
play
last week.
Long time ago. I probably can't get
It
out
was the
now.
shorts. It was the shorts. I couldn't go with the shorts, so I didn't pay attention to the sport. But we have volleyball here on Thursday nights right now. It starts from 6:30. I believe at 8:30. We have basketball here from 4 to 6, and we're partnered with another organization, Love for the Lou, who does that. See, it's a lot of organizations out here. I'm trying to tap in. So we're going to start with the open gym probably like on a Monday or a Tuesday outside of that Thursday slot. And then what I want to do, growing up, I would have always heard the seniors talking about they finna go play bingo, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if they still doing bingo, but
some places not frequently, but some places.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get my seniors.
Let me say this on this note. I'm interrupting you, but let me say this, because if they are, it's not in our areas. Okay. But go ahead.
Okay, I get that. And I feel that. I was feeling that. Yeah. So what I want to do is bring it in our areas, because I know where I am in these promise zones. We have a lot of seniors, right? And I don't want them to feel like they're left out, because we want to encompass 16 on up. And we got to bridge that gap. So we got to start somewhere. So if I can get a little bit for the seniors going on here one day, and then we got the youth coming in, and then eventually we're going to intermingle those age groups, because I believe iron sharpens iron. That's what the word of God says. So I'm going to need some of that old wisdom to trickle down to these young fools.
She said,
I'm one of them.
She said,
I'm saying I'm one of them, so I'm gonna put myself in that category. So I mean, I love to sit in the presence of wisdom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So doing that, I just really want to bridge these generations, because there is so much we can learn from each other.
And we need to know, because if we don't know, I think that's where we've kind of fell a little bit, is because we didn't talk to our elders, and they didn't tell us their experiences, because they probably shied away from a lot of that trauma, and that. But now we're sitting here trying to figure it all out, and like you said, we're all going all different type of ways, because we really don't know. And if they would have kept passing that on, I feel like in the 60s and 70s, but then we know what happened with the drug era and all of that. So probably threw even that more farther out the game. But yeah, I do agree that we do need to sit down and bridge the gap between the elders and our young folks.
And this is one of the things that I'm learning. We've always been a surviving people.
Yes.
We survive this. We survive that. We survive in pandemics. We survive in homelessness. We survive it. At what point in our lives will we stop surviving and come into the knowledge of living?
Ooh.
So what we do here at Empowering You to Move is to teach you to stop surviving. Keep those skills though, but switch your mindset over to living so you can have a more abundant life. So, I mean.
Whew. All right. That is real talk, though. I feel you on that.
We either a work slave, a house slave, a mind slave, but we never get to freedom.
We never, in a sense.
Or we are, you call that outside slave. I'm trying to keep it clean. An outside slave.
The Hood Talks podcast. It's okay.
we are a slave to the drugs. We're a slave to the dealing. We're a slave to, the prostitution. All of those things, they keep us
to the white man, to all.
We enslaved to all those things, so it prevents us from understanding the concept of living. So we want to break those chains off of us, so we can understand that, baby, living is a necessity.
Yes, because
surviving is just something we do.
Yes. And we should not have to continue to survive.
We shouldn't. Ooh. There's too many resources out here that we can grasp, that we just need to have somebody to show us enough love and compassion to help us. to get to what we need.
I love telling my folks this. If it's out there, tap in.
Please.
Tap in. Utilize it. Look, because if you don't, then again, they don't get the funding and they be ready to snatch them away. So no, utilize it. And again, the Hood Talks podcast is trying to make sure that we uplift all the ones that's out there for you. So you can, hey, get out here, get some resources, get some assistance, get some help. No matter where you are and what space you're in. We cannot just keep surviving. We gotta move on.
Yeah, it's a lot of people out here. They be like, well, I can't utilize the service because I'm not computer literate, or I don't have the means to fit everything online. And that is true. We have to be up with the times. Right now, technology is booming. Everything is online. So if you're in a space where, you're not that tech savvy, come on over. We'll help you fill out your information.
That part.
But you're not in lack.
That part. I was going to say organizations also need to step down and be like, okay, again, meeting the person where they are.
Yep.
Well, you're not that tech savvy here. Let's come sit down together and I'll walk you through how to, like you said, either fill out the application or use technology. But because I think that's another one too. Some of these organizations don't have no type of compassion. Like people just out here working and they be like, because I've had the phone calls where I'd be like, well, it's on the website, go look it up. And I'd be thinking to myself, what if I ain't got no damn website or no internet or no computer? Like, how do you think I'm look it up? Like, that don't even make sense, lady. So I get it. So, right, they have to come out of self and be like, take some time, because I get it. Everybody busy. Y'all, these nonprofits and stuff, all this craziness and whatever. But you have to slow down and really see the people for who they are. And again, making sure that you're meeting them where they are and meeting their needs. That is important.
Some of us get so big and we're so immune to it. And so what it is that we have to constantly remember our why.
Yeah.
Why did I start this? Why did I get involved in this? What am I here to do for real? What is my desired outcome? I deal with the unhoused because I've been unhoused twice. Didn't know which, where, when, how, none of that. So I've been in their shoes. Thank God I didn't have to actually live on the street, but I've been really, really close to living in my car before God intervened. So I understand where they're coming from or where they are. So when I wake up, my why is to prevent another family, prevent another individual to have to endure what I had to endure. How do I take that pressure off of them?
Yes.
I have a sign, you can't see it, but it says, this is our home. This is what we have. A lot of people living in houses, but we don't have homes established anymore. Ooh. So now it's in order to be able to bring stability to our community, we have to start building homes again.
And we ain't talking about just the outside, right?
They putting up houses everywhere, but there's no home structure. There's no life skills. My mother used to say common sense ain't common for everybody. So teaching people what that means and don't look at them as an issue. Look at them as a family member, a friend, a loved one. Look at them as yourself.
As a human. Where is the empathy in our community? Ooh,
because it was you. You know what I'm saying? It was you.
It could be you still. You never know.
You better back up and sit down somewhere. It could be you.
Real quick. You better get over real quick. You never know. It could be you.
I look at all of that when it comes to me getting up every morning, dealing with my community. I'm going to invite you in because if somebody seen me outside, I would want them to invite me in. So all of those things that I would want done to me, I'm doing that for my community. Why keep repeating the same cycles when there's a way to come out of that cycle and start going in a straight line forward? So that's just where I am. I'm ready to do it.
Girl, did you just hear what you said? Like, why continue the cycle or the crazy circle when you can go into a straight line? You know where this circle is ending.
It's going to lead you to the same spot.
Right. So
it's going to look different, but it's the same thing.
Same scenario. Yes.
Change of your mindset, man. That's how you position yourself into a different location.
Yes. Woo! Well, you done dropped some gems. on this episode, baby. Thank you for being here, talking about your organization. How can the people, if that's community, if that's, maybe someone that's listening, like, oh, let me see if I can go out here and help. How can they reach you? How can I get in touch with you?
That's easy. We on Facebook under Empowering You, the number 2, Move. We also have a website, which is Empowering You to Move. Again, the number 2. We have a phone number. Let's start with that. It's 314-764-9403. And we also have an office building where we are on location pretty much all day, every day. And that location is 1407 North Taylor.
So y'all hear that? Anyone out here that, that even if it ain't affecting you, you might know somebody that's dealing with some housing issues, or you might know someone that just needs somebody to help and maybe find an employment. Maybe they need assistance, like she said, with just getting, some things together, like a
mentorship. We do it all.
So tap in, y'all. Reach out, tap in, share, talk about this segment, share this episode, share about empowering you to move. Let the people know it's out here. The resources out here, and they are doing the work. That's it, y'all. Keep tuning in to the Hood Talks podcast, because your girl, again, is going to keep bringing you all the resources. If you know any dope organizations that's out here, I love grassroots organizations, and they're out here doing the work. Tell them, come holler at your girl. Come holler at the Hood Talks podcast, and let's give them a little shine, because that's what I'm trying to do. Let them shine, because they doing the work, and let you know about it. So keep tapping in, y'all. More to come. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page, and also follow us on all our social medias. And you can find all of that information at www.thehoodtalks.com.